This is Sam, the Frugal Hugel gardener. I'm outside first thing in the morning yet again. I finished the front hedgerow. I finished the back hedgerow. Now I have some individual plants I want to plant around the property. I'm soaking wet and I want to get it done. So the bamboo that I'm going to plant is I'm going to plant a couple Seabreeze for privacy in a few different areas. And then right over here I have the Silverstripe. You could tell because of the stripes. And those I'm going to plant in a few different areas of the property. So I have clumps. When they get big enough, I'll use them for banana supports. So with that said, let me show you what I just finished up in the back this morning. And then we're going to go ahead and I'll show you where I'm going to plant and what I'm going to plant the rest of the bamboo. And also why I'm planting it there. Okay, so right over here is the hedge line of Seabreeze bamboo. Because when they clump, it makes a great privacy fence. And you can see I mounded everything up just like that. So that way I could keep them moist by putting water in there. And when I get more fill from this top to that top, I'm going to make a nice mound all the way down that's level. So this is what it looks like. They're planted 5 feet away from the fence. That way they don't run into the fence. And when they grow, I could always separate the backside by the fence and make it square. Okay, so you can see I call them little volcanoes. You fill them up with water, the water sifts through. It takes the air out of the soil too around the roots so you get no root rot. But anyway, that's going to be how high my mound is going to be. So with that said, let me go show you the other places where I'm going to plant today. Okay, so right over here I tilled under an area, and right in front of that I'm going to plant a Seabreeze. Because when it grows, I want privacy towards the back of the yard. Right over here in front of my shed, I had Mexican sunflower that grew up over the shed and it put shade on the shed. But I just dug those up and I'm giving them to my neighbor. And I want to put one Seabreeze right here in the center so it will grow and put shade over the shed. So this is a good place for Seabreeze. And from here, from the driveway, it's gonna create privacy going back, and then I'm gonna plant the other one so it's gonna be double privacy, and then you won't be able to see in the backyard where I'm gonna plant all my fruit trees. Okay, let's go check out the other. Okay, so right over here by the pond, I have praying hands and I have Orinoco. I'm going to go ahead and rip those out, and there's going to be 2 clumps of Silverstripe. So when they grow in really thick, I could cut individual bamboo down and use it to prop up my banana plants. Plus, that's going to give it a little different tropical look. Okay, so you see in the video over here, I planted a hedge line of Seabreeze for privacy and a windbreak. And I didn't plant those above the ground. I actually went in the ground And there's no mounds there because the soil is moist. And from the pond with my tractor bucket, I could just put water on those at any time. To where the ones all the way in the back, I have to drag the hose back there instead of the tractor back and forth. That's why they're mounded. Those are planted above the ground, mounded, so I can put water in it. So right here from my driveway entrance, you see I went ahead and tilled this under. That's going to be Silverstripe, so it's a nice entrance. And then right over here is going to be Silverstripe, so when you come in, there'll be Silverstripe on both sides. A couple plants. That will give the entrance a nice bamboo tropical look. And Silverstripe does not get all those leaves to make privacy, so it's going to have a really good look. Now let's go on the other side. Okay, so same thing over here, right on the entrance of my driveway is going to be Silverstripe. And right over here on the entrance is going to be a row of Silverstripe. I want to keep the same look on both sides of the driveway because it's a horseshoe driveway. So all I did was till these under, and I'm going to plant in the ground on both sides. I don't have to mound it up. So all in all, I think those are going to look good. There may be a few other areas that I'm going to plant them, but for right now, I think I got enough work on my hands. Okay, so I went around with the tractor and I put 8 up front, and I put 1 here and 1 over there. So this is a Seabreeze. I'm planting it right dead center and 6 feet away. This is exactly where I want it, so I'll remove that. Okay, so that's the hole. That is filled with horse manure. So I'm going to dump the pot in there and see if that's enough. Okay, so here's the roots. That's what I just dug up the other day. The hole is plenty deep for the manure. I'm just going to dump it in. Okay, so you can see the manure filled up the hole. So all I'm going to do is take a little out. Put that in and cover it up just like that. Now I'll go get my rake and rake it up. Okay, so I got my rake. I'm just going to rake a little bit of it back over. Okay, so there it is. That bed's looking good. It's centered and it's away right where I want it. It should put some good shade on the shed. So let's go over here and do the other one. Okay, so I went ahead and eyed it up this way and this way. I tilled all this under. This is where I want it. So I'm just going to remove that and dig a hole. Okay, I'm going to remove that, put this in there. That's horse manure. Okay, let me just remove a little bit of it. Here's the root system. Okay, so that's exactly where I want it. I dug a hole, the manure's in there, horse manure, and there's a little reservoir around it. Now let's go tackle the other ones. Okay, so I measured out 6 feet. So this is 6 feet right here where my foot is. Right here. Now I just want to make sure it don't stick out in the driveway over there, so this is 3 feet. So that looks perfect. So this is where I'm going to put it, right here. It's even with the outside edge. Okay, I'm going to take that out. Here's the root system. Put the manure in the hole. Take just a little bit out right here. Okay, that one's planted nicely. Now let me do this one. Okay, so I measured over 9 feet. So they'll be 9 feet apart, just like all my others. I know that this here is the center. Okay, here's the nice root ball. I'm gonna dump in this manure. Make sure that root ball fits in there nicely. Okay, just like that. And put the manure back over it. Okay, so I planted it, dug a hole, put the manure in it, planted it, made a little bowl. This is where the water's going to sit. It's 3 feet away from where I want, 9 feet away from the other. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the other side. Right over here. So starting with this one, I want to measure out 6 feet, which is right there. And I want it even with the outside, so this is perfect. Double check. Okay, 6 foot. That's 3 foot. This is perfect. Okay, here's the root ball. the hole. Okay, so that one looks good. Now let me go ahead and measure all this. Okay, here's that. Here's another small one I don't want. Now let's fill up this hole. Dig a little out. Okay, so that one's planted nicely. So I got 2 here on the entrance, 2 there on the entrance. Now I got to put 2 more on the other side. Now these are Silverstripe. They're going to have a nice thick bamboo look without all the shade or privacy, which I want to support up my banana plants. So each variety of bamboo has a purpose. The Seabreeze is for shade and privacy. These are to give it a nice bamboo look and to support my banana plants. So I'm going to go tackle those other 2 real quick. Okay, so over here I'm going to plant these 2 and those 2 using sort of the same measurements from over there. I don't think I need to show you all that, so let me just show you when I'm finished and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I had a neighbor come over and I gave him 3 bamboo plants and some bananas and some loquats and stuff like that. So I only put in 4 over on this side. I need to do 2 more, but I need to separate them. That's for another day. But they're spaced out from that column the same as the other side. And the same thing over here, they're spaced out, except I skipped one because of that tree line, and there's one there and there. So everything is looking good. I got everything planted today. So now I'm going to go ahead and water. So hey, if you liked my video, give me a like, give me a share, subscribe to my channel. Come on over to my Facebook group. Talk to you soon.